Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am here with another long form React event for the month. This is one that people have been waiting for quite some time. In fact, this is a follow up to my original React event that I did just under 1 year ago over on my DSP Gaming channel. This is before I even had a whole channel for reacting to anything. About a year ago, people were urging me to do React style content, and I said I would give it a go. And the first thing I ever reacted to was the Wings of Redemption Down the Rabbit Hole documentary from Frederick Knudsen. And that was a wild ride, because at the time I had absolutely no information whatsoever about this man besides what people had told me in my own chat, right? I had no idea what actually this guy was about or anything like that, okay? So to me, it was an education on a person that people always came into my chat and memed about and stuff, and it was interesting to say the least. But I think what happened was a lot of people were a little bit shocked because they were like, this is different than what we thought it was going to be. We believed that this was going to be you making fun of him and stuff. I'm like, that's what everyone else does. You know, what I do is I'm going to talk about this guy fairly. I'm going to judge him fairly. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to react to the content subjectively and objectively, because a lot of people just go in there to ridicule the guy. Instead, I've been down this road. I've been a content creator for as long as he has. I've been made fun of all over the internet, and I wanted to approach it from a more reasonable perspective. And so a lot of the time, some of the things that people make fun of him for, I thought were kind of messed up. And people appreciated that take, told me that they thought that was a different take that other people had not seen. It was my first and most popular ever React event. It really was. Okay, after that, I've done many other Reacts, but everyone always asks, would you ever get back to Wings? Because there's other documentaries about the guy after that first one. To which I always responded, yeah, I consider it, but it's not something that I want to do right away. It was the first one I ever did. Let's do other stuff. It's been about a year now. And now that we're doing these monthly, long form reacts, people voted and said, let's see you do the second Wings documentary. This one's by June the King. And it supposedly covers the time period after the first one. To give you some background, the Down the Rabbit Hole documentary about Wings ends at the time when he's getting surgery to lose weight. And it's a big cliffhanger. Will the surgery work? Won't it work? What is in the future for Wings? We don't know. Well, now we know, because the time has passed. And so this is an 11-month-old documentary by June the King that we're going to watch, and we're going to see what's happened with Wings in that time frame. Okay? So that's that. Now, it's about an hour, 40 minutes long. Just so everyone knows, these take a long time for me to react to because I'm constantly pausing and adding context and adding my own take. Likely it's going to be hours and hours to react to, just to forewarn everyone. I'm going to split it up into hour-long parts for the channel. So if you watch this on demand here on DSP Reacts, you can expect about an hour-long chunks. For people on the live stream, there's going to be some breaks. There's going to be a break for me to order food or pick up food later. There's going to be some other things as well. But for those watching on demand, it's just going to be these chunks that will release over the course of the week. Okay? Sound good? Cool. Now, one other thing. This is my big event of the day. This is all I'm doing today. So for those of you who are here live, please, if you like the content, please support it. Like the video or like the stream. You know, interact with me. Leave some contributions if you can. Support it. I would really appreciate it if you could. All right? That would be very nice if you could, since this is a long-form event. And the only thing I'm doing today. Thank you for your ongoing support of the channel. One of the best ways you can support this channel is by becoming a member, because becoming a member allows you to actually nominate videos for my weekly clip show, DSP versus the Internet. You get a lot of perks, and quite frankly, a lot of the content I do on this channel gets claimed. I don't get credit for it, so it'd be great to have that ongoing support if you could. I do appreciate that. Speak of the devil, there was a tip. I don't know if it's a troll tip or not. We're going to probably have a lot of trolls here today, so bear with me if you see me hunching over and you notice I'm ignoring stuff. So Chris Saturn tips $1. Will you order Wendy's chili and a double stack to celebrate Wings? No, I will not eat that food. I told you guys, I think Wendy's chili is vile. I guess the meme is that Wings likes it. I don't know. I hate it. I've had it before. I always thought it was disgusting. So absolutely not. But thank you, Chris Saturn, for the $1 tip. So yes, there will be shout outs. There will be interaction with my chat. All this is going to happen like a normal one of my streams, just so you guys know. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm just commentating. No, there's going to be all this normal stuff going on as well. And should be good. All right. Thank you all. All right. And let's begin, shall we? All right. Swap over. And remove this, because that is not what I wanted you to see. There we go. Cool. All right, we're going to get started, my friends. You can see this is June the King. I recommend his YouTube channel strongly. There's many, many good documentaries on there that we've reacted to together. And, you know, just last month we did the Pro Jerry documentary, right? It's good stuff over there. Give it a look. Fair enough? All right, guys. Without further ado, here we go.
Wings of Redemption, a person that one could only hope was a character. He was someone who was given a second, a third, a fourth, and so on chance at a better life.
So just from there, that's a good recap right there of everything we just saw in the first documentary. You know, him trying to do the fitness thing, the boot camp, I guess, and then I guess this is the surgery that he received, right? Okay.
But those had been squandered time after time by the insanity that are his habits. His downfall is a live event that as things seem to get better, they only get worse. When we last left him in 2019, he successfully raised enough money to get a weight loss surgery and was on a path at a healthier lifestyle.
You see how crazy? Like, it's actually legitimately this documentary, even though it's not from Frederick Knudsen, who was the first documentary we watched, it actually picks up, I guess, like right where the other one left off. So it's just like we're watching them continuously, which is kind of neat. All right.
But his existence is the definition of old habits die hard. Since then, the two major differences in his life are that he has gained all that weight back and that he has gotten married. But he is also married to his online presence, and that presence is attached to the many trolls that follow him and that record every step.
Now let's be honest here. If you remember where we left it at the end of the last documentary, what did I say? I said, weight loss only works if you have two factors, the physical, but also the mental and the support to go with the mental side of it, correct? You could physically lose weight, but it doesn't mean you're going to keep it off unless you have the mental fortitude and the other support to make that stick. And that was the big thing that we were talking about during the Down the Rabbit Hole documentary. Even if Wings gets surgery, unless he has the support system in place to keep that weight off, he will never keep it off, right? We talked about this. So I wonder if this is going to go through what happened after the surgery and why he gained it back, because to me, it's like, dude, that's such a dramatic thing in life. You're going to get crazy, like dangerous surgery. If that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what is, right? But you've got to have that mental fortitude. You've got to have the people to support you to make that happen. So what happened? And that's what we're going to find out today, I feel. So.
Rather every sniff of finger or every squeak of a chair. The relationship between Jordy and his trolls is a coin where both sides are equally weighted with unfavorable activity, with each accusing the other of heinous actions. But the troll side is now backed by a source that claims the worst about Jordy is true. Enough so for many of you to believe a continuation video.
My highest requested video for my last post was Wings. I'm curious if it's something you guys still want. 87% of the votes said yes, Wings. Huh. Okay. Anime Slayer to the Super Chat says, you're making Wings look like a saint just being 100. Not really my goal. This is not the Wings Defense Force stream. This is to be objective, but also subjective, meaning I want to be fair, but I'm also going to be looking at it from a perspective of someone else who's received an insane amount of hate, an insane amount of negativity, gets this crap thrown at me on a daily basis, so I kind of get it, you know? But at the same time, you call a spade a spade. You want to, I'm going to be honest about what I think, too. Let's see.
Video is necessary. And to that, I give you the continuation of Jordy's downfall.
Here we go.
As a refresher to who Jordy is and what he has done, he was one of the first Call of Duty commentary channels on YouTube and helped establish a genre known as Let's Plays. But as it evolved, Jordy and his content did not. There was hardly any attempt or effort to put in to focus on new successful types of content. Only different projects with the same effort put in. Normally, these channels die out completely, and are only remembered as relics and stand as plinths, that as themselves, once improved on a popular form of content, are now that which is being improved upon.
So this is all his history. Again, if you want additional background on what's being discussed here, you can watch June the King's first documentary about wings. There's also the Down the Rabbit Hole documentary about wings from Frederick Knudsen, or you can watch my react to the Down the Rabbit Hole about wings that I did last year. So there's like a ton of stuff going on. You know, that you could get this background if you would like, okay? So give it all a look, all right? By the way, there's a lot of trolls in chat. Moderators, if you're here, please start banning these people. Anyone who's derailing, talking about other fucking bullshit, just get rid of them. Seriously, because I don't want to sit here and do it. I'm trying to do my react, and I can't pay attention. I know we have some moderators here. Please, any of this nonsense you see here, just take it out so we can fucking have a chat full, you know, clean of these idiots. Thank you. Okay.
If we instead take these evolutions in content and reframe them as stepping stones, each one leading up to today's clickbait and bombastic titles and thumbnails, we will find Jordy's Let's Plays at the start of the steps, and Jordy never climbing it. A large hindrance or massive change in how people viewed him came out in 2011, when he lost a 1v1 match in Call of Duty.
1v1 on
but
Bob.
It wasn't so much his loss that had people talking about this event.
Yep.
It was his reaction.
You know, like commentator showdown goes on. I knew that was a tough lobby to do well in, but I was there.
Once again, I gotta call it out. How the hell do you do this event and not stop massive pop-ups constantly on your stream? Like, what the hell? You can't see it because my camera's blocking it. But remember when they were doing this 1v1 on Bog? There was non-stop pop-ups, send you a message, send you a message, send you a message trolling. Like, could you just turn off your fucking messages? Jesus.
Wings, did you spawn in?
I broke my controller.
You broke your controller?
Yeah, keep
Yep,
fucking
he got
laughing,
so
you
mad he
fucking-
smashed his controller.
Oh,
He
Wings,
lost
I've
it.
been there.
Oh, don't
Bad
fucking
days.
suck. Fucking.
So it ended up 14-9. Was that the final score? Was 14-9. It wasn't like it was a horrible loss, but being the amount of, remember, these insane amount of shit talking that took place before this match, Wings outright saying he was going to destroy this guy or whatever, which led to this big event. Obviously this was crushing for him, and this began the whole ride of trolling for Wings, right? Before then it wasn't that bad.
This, as the years progressed, turned out to be a sort of pattern. Not so much with his outbursts, though those were present, but more so in his declining image. Friends tried to help Jordy.
Why did he smash his controller, and what game was that? I don't know what game that was. A horse and he smashed his controller?
Both business-wise by getting them to try different forms of content, which was unsuccessful, or help him lose weight.
There's the boot camp.
But unable to steer clear of a diet consisting of fast foods and other unhealthy ingestibles, he found success
Oh, shit,
in
the
his
frickin' lid
failure
came out the
when
soda.
he dedicated himself to live streaming and was wholly unfiltered with his emotional outbursts and controversial comments. He not became, but rather was discovered to be the new age internet term lolcow, as him and others like him easily give reactions to any form of ridicule or criticism. These reactions are as
didn't even notice he was in
consistent
the
as
corner.
a robot reacting to a stimulus. For some, it could be anxiety-inducing to witness a person fall into the same self-pitying that has crippled
Okay,
their...
honest question for everyone who's here right now, okay? Do you think that every single time that Wings acts like this on camera that it's legit? Or do you think that after a while, he realized that, like, people gave him a reaction to it, and so he kept acting like that? I'm genuinely curious, because when you see the isolated incidents, they seem legit to me. Like, we've seen a few of them in the last documentary. I was like, that sounds like legit anger. That sounds like he's really pissed, right? But now when you see it as a montage like this, don't they all look the same? Like, it looks like it's always the same kind of situation. He's angry. Oh, ripping the headset off, slamming the controller. I wonder if after a while he was like, every time I do this, you know, I get some attention or get a rise, get a little bit, you know. And maybe it benefits him sometimes to do it. I don't know. I'm just saying. I feel like maybe at one point you absolutely start honest with that, and then you see how people react to it. Like, well, I'm not gonna roll with that, right? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, to me, when I see the montage back to back now, it does seem to me like sometimes some of these are like staged, but other ones are completely legit, and maybe you just can't tell the difference anymore. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Not just time on the internet, but also their life. To others, there is a comfort in viewing his mundane responses and delving into a culture that is truly his own. The man's name is Jordy Jordan, but at some point, viewers looked into documents that revealed the residence of Jordy's household.
Okay.
And what they allegedly found was there was once a Richard Jordan living there.
Really?
So trolls began to address him as Richard.
Now, wait a minute. Was that a relative? Is that his dad? Like, where'd the name come from? Because I know, just like with me, people joke and they call me Dave. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Call me Dave. It's my dad's name. I don't give a shit. So I don't even know where the meme came from. But I know for a fact calling him Richard is like a meme, a negative meme. But what is that? Like, there actually was a Richard Jordan living there, but who was it? Has it ever been revealed who this was? Was it actually a relative and they're trolling him by saying that? Or was it completely random? Right? I guess another question would be, why is it such a big thing? Is it really piss him off if you call him Richard? Does it really piss him off? And why would it? Right? Like, why would it make you so angry that someone's calling you another name? People call me Dave. I'm like, all right, stupid. And yeah, people keep doing it over and over. It's annoying. But like I said, Dave is my dad's name. I don't care. It's not insulting to me to call me Dave. I guess when people say, for me, it's like David Brent or something, the main character of the British Office. That I look like him, making fun of me. I don't really care. I don't get it. I think a lot of the times these troll things, these memes, are so confined to the troll communities, they don't even carry over to the real content. Like, I don't get it. I don't get half of the things that people say about me. I don't, I'm just like, it goes right over my head. You know what I'm saying? In this case, I hear that this does piss off Wings for some reason.
Which he vehemently combats.
There's nobody in my family named Richard. I don't know where you guys get this from. Why do you guys keep saying Richard? Keep in mind, if you continue to say Richard, whether you're a sub or not, we're just going to get rid of you for 24 hours, right? So this is your warning right here. So after this, if you get kicked, it's your fault. Mods, please ban anybody that calls me Richard too. I don't even like that, so just go ahead and ban them.
So, isn't that a meme too? Mod, just go ahead and ban anyone who, and then blank, insert whatever. He tells his mods to just do that, right? Well, I guess that's where it came from. So he's saying he has no one in his family who's ever been called Richard. Where the hell did the name come from? And by the way, so they're saying his residence, that his mailing address, previously in history there was someone called a Richard Jordan at that address. What a coincidence. That would be like if there actually was a David Burnell who somehow lived here previously.
He is also referred to as Sam, because one time on stream, his grandma in her age, most likely misremembering names, called him Sam and Jordy looked over. And so began people calling him Sam, which brings yet another name that will get a reaction
I've never
out
heard
of
that
him.
one.
At one point, he was drinking Pepsi on stream, but stated he does not enjoy that soft drink. So now, to his viewers, they refer to it as his drink of choice.
Ah, okay. So because he was drinking it, but he directly said, I don't like it, that's why they troll him with it. Huh. That's interesting. But again, do you see what I mean about these little memes? Like, they latch on to things. Trolls latch on to things that are so innocuous. They're so small. They're so meaningless. And they turn it into like this big thing. The running gag is Pepsi and he likes Pepsi. Who cares? Like, what does that have to do? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? How is this such a huge, a huge focus for them? That's such a big deal. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Who cares if he likes Pepsi? Why is this a meme? I'm sure there's many other things you could focus on that make more sense than him drinking Pepsi, right? And it becomes a giant. You guys mentioned it to me. Just morning, someone said that in my chat. And the podcast, something about the Pepsi meme. And I'm like, what? I just don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe it's just for me, meme culture goes over my head a lot. But to me, that's like the dumbest thing to make a point of contention. Who fucking cares if he likes or dislikes Pepsi? But now you're going to say it a million times just to annoy him. Like, I don't get it.
Though even still, his true preferences are also memed on, like the Wendy's chili he consumes or the Yoo-hoos he drinks. These stimuli by themselves become stale. So to get a larger reaction from him, sometimes these are combined to make them more bothersome. Like someone might donate something like, Richard,
you say you are a good person, but there are pictures of you with Hitler back in the day When will your redemption happen? Shout out to Chocolate Thunder, Fat Guts, Liquid Richard, Lord of the Wings. Big ups, Discord. Oh. I'm actually not sure there was a brain cell used typing that message. Oh. Yikes.
The Pepsi drinking chili lover, or Sucking Sam, the vacuum part salesman. As
The vacuum part salesman.
Vacuum part salesman.
What the hell? Look at that. Wheel McJordy, vacuum part salesman at Sucking Sam's. What is this? Is this Twitter? Vacuum part salesman. No, view profile. This doesn't look like Twitter. Oh, it's a LinkedIn. It says right there, LinkedIn. I'd never even seen LinkedIn before. I didn't know what it looked like. It kind of looks like Twitter with the profile and everything. Sucking Sam. Oh
has also been endowed to him by the trolling community.
Stupid.
Anyways, love you, Wingo. Stay yeet. And shout out Sean Ranklin. Big ups, Liquid Richard. And have a good day. From the Pepsi Pimp to Samuel.
My God!
Richard Samuel McCready III.
Jesus Christ! It's like, dude, like, how dumb can you be? It's like, oh, I'm going to send Wings a contribution. I know he'll read it. So I'm literally going to use every fucking stupid phrase that's ever been thrown at this man in one message. Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously. By the way, someone tried to tip me, but apparently the tip is pending, just so you know. So whoever just tried to tip me, PayPal froze your tip for some reason. So I can't shout it out, because there's no guarantee it's even going to go through. And I don't even have the information on it. It just says a pending payment. So, sorry about that. That's your bank, I guess. Anyway, continuing on. Here, I'll be honest here. With this situation, this is exactly why I don't have the pop-up messages on my streams anymore. And this is exactly why I don't guarantee that I'm reading any messages. Because I am not going to bother my viewers with that stupid shit. Can you imagine, right? Oh, I just got a $1 tip from Hogan Pulls WWE Champions bankruptcy scammer, underage pedophile, groomer, Mick Nuffin stuff. And he says, hey, Phil, big ups. And that would be every 2 seconds. I'm not doing that. I'm not stupid. I can't do that. That no one wants to hear that shit, right? No one. So that's why I don't do that shit, you know? You want to contribute, say something intelligent, great. But I'm not going to be wasting a ton of time on that nonsense. This is stupid. Okay? All right, so I don't know why he does it. I have no clue. I would never put up with that shit.
The streams themselves are not what viewers flock to. That is reserved for the many channels that clip his wildest and also equally mundane moments, like the varying reasons he gives for bans.
Ban that guy right there. Trying to make fun of my fucking KD. Fuck you, dude. You come do this shit. Ban Super Han. I'll ban him. Oh my God.
He slammed his controller and he said, I'll ban him. Come on. All right, that was legit funny. He slams his controller, then he says, I'll ban him.
Mods, please shut this shit down. No, I don't want any fucking life advice. Time out anybody trying to give me life advice. I don't want it.
Jeez.
He
So
was
this is where the
banned
memes come
yesterday
from.
for basically asking for me to play Fortnite multiple times.
There also exists a 6-minute-long compilation of his chair squeaking, created by the most popular channel
Sean
of this
Ranklin.
category.
Well, my chair. Does anyone do that? Oh, it squeaked a little bit. My chair squeaks. Actually, it's not that bad anymore. Oh, there you go. Is there a chair squeak compilation for me? There probably will be now. But a chair squeak compilation.
Sean Ranklin, who was the first to find success in clipping his moments of not so much passiveness, but his aggression during a period in late 2017. Sean Ranklin, bringing in more viewers that Jordy's personal channel hadn't seen in a very long time, earned in the phrase within the trolling community, shout out Sean Ranklin. A rare sign of status given to those that the community collectively respects or knows the content will get Jordy's attention. Like Big Ups, Liquid Richard, designed to promote Liquid Richard, a channel known for creating autotune music involving Wings and others. Where Jordy's online career could have dwindled into ever more low-count streams until it was not financially viable to stream, This renaissance of rage brought in viewers that revived his Twitch channel, but parallel to this growth was an increase in harassment that goes beyond doxing and beyond the online realm.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, when you see him freaking out and getting upset by stuff, and he seems like sometimes it's legit, but sometimes he's feeding into that. Because he's realizing every time that he feeds into it, he's getting views and he's getting attention and he's probably getting contributions. So this is now his thing is, all right, if people are going to make fun of me and they're gonna villainize me and make me look horrible, I'm going to use that to my advantage. He is leaning in to the lolcow thing, correct? Am I wrong? I mean, that's what I'm seeing, at least from the way that this preface of this video is right now. It seems like he's leaning into it. He wants to benefit from it. If they're already going to ridicule him, if they're already going to make fun of him, I might as well make profit from it, correct? That's what it seems like to me, at least from what this documentary is saying. But what can you do? Because then what happens is, with the more any support you get is going to just result in more ridicule as well. And at one point, you know, the people who ridicule you are going to end up being, you know, getting more popular than you, which is kind of what happened with me, correct? Where the people who just sit there and just make fun of me all day got more popular than my raw content. And there's nothing I could do about that, you know? And some people say, well, lean into it. Well, I don't want to. I feel like putting toxic stuff in my content is not beneficial to who I want to be on the internet, nor is it beneficial to my viewership, right? I don't think that it's going to benefit me to become a purposeful clown on the internet who just leans into every negative thing that people say about me. Instead, I want to keep that separate. I want to keep that away from my viewers. My viewers don't like that shit. They would prefer to just have fun gameplay and fun. Perfect example. I just had a very dramatic week in my own personal life, right? We all know why. Nonsense happening on the internet. And as soon as this week started, and there was a brand new game coming out, and we were all enjoying, all of a sudden things were back to normal. Everything was great. All my viewers are happy, they're engaged, they're watching the content, they're having a good time. Now imagine if I was still leaning into the drama a week later because of all this big spike in attention because of it, right? I don't think it would be beneficial. That's my philosophy, and that's different from other people's. And Wings is very welcome to do it however he wants. This is not me criticizing him in any way for what he's decided to do, if this is what he's decided to do. But for me personally, I don't see the benefit of becoming the all-encompassing drama just for short-term benefit and or payday. You see what I'm saying? I would rather still have that ongoing hardcore fan base that likes me for who I am and the content that I put out there. If all your content becomes that drama, then you've lost your core values of what you were doing content for on the internet to begin with. At least that's my take, and you could disagree, right? But what's hilarious, someone said DSP's making it about him. It's my react, stupid. Of course it's about me. It's me and my perspective applied to the documentary. We're not just watching it and I'm going to be silent, you dunce. What a stupid thing to say in someone's chat. What a fucking idiot. Anyway, that's my take. I don't want drama. I don't want this lolcow culture to overcome me in my content. Because I feel if it did, I would lose that core audience that's allowed me to do this for a living all along. You know, I really feel that way. I feel bad because, again, whenever drama happens to me, that affects my core audience, my fans. They get affected negatively by it, and they don't deserve that. So I feel bad when shit goes wrong, you know? Even if I don't intend it, anything goes wrong, it's like I feel horrible, you know? But in this case, it seems like Jordy's like, I'm just going to lean in, and I'm going to try to benefit from it. Well, I guess we're going to find out about that, right? I guess it's going to be a major part of this documentary, correct? Okay. So, let's continue here.
It has gone as far as having the police raid his house after they received false reports from the worst of his trolls,
And of course,
as
that's the
seen from
fucking
its
worst
clip
thing
from
possible.
2018.
Swatting. Awful.
Things did eventually get better. He got on Lexapro, which is an antidepressant.
Oh.
This lowered his outbursts significantly when he, alongside the drug, streamed single-player games that allowed him to take a break from the constant trolling he experienced from multiplayer games.
Right. That's
Even
good.
when getting into situations that once led to frustration, instead of screaming or creating easily clippable moments of his unadulterated rage, he had replaced his moments of frustration with a stretch or a sigh.
That's very different.
Jordy, within this period, set a goal to get a weight loss surgery
So this
done.
is what he got? A sleeve gastrectomy. Because I didn't know. I thought that he had gotten, what do they call it? Bypass? Gastric bypass? And people were like, no, that's not what he got. He got something different. So gastric sleeve, new stomach, remove portion of stomach. Oh, wait, is this not what he got? What did he get? So they removed a portion of his stomach?
However, due to his long history of failing to reach goals and what some consider to be a lack of discipline, there was little hope that he would be able to raise the tens of thousands of dollars to get this surgery done. But the larger worry was once that the funding goal was reached, he would take the money and run. To the surprise of many, he eventually got it done in Mexico. And while there is still some contention in allocation of funding,
I was just going to say, wasn't this a big thing? Because people were telling me about this during the first documentary last year. They were saying that he was raising money. Now, I'm just going with what people have told me. I don't know if this is factually true. He raised money on his streams. He told everyone it was a certain amount of money, right? He raised that money, apparently. Like he did. He hit the goals and everything. And then he went to Mexico, where that same surgery was significantly cheaper than what he had told everyone it was going to cost. And he pocketed the rest of the money. Now, no one knows where the money went. Some people even assumed he bought a car or something. I don't know. I've heard all these stories. Again, this is neither here nor there. It doesn't mean any of this is true. This is just what I've heard, okay? And is that not one of the big conspiracies around the guy, is that there's no documented evidence, but people just keep saying this ad nauseum over and over until people believe it, which is fucked up, you know? I hate that shit. So just because we want to say it, it's true. No, it's not. It doesn't matter that you said it 5,000 times in your detractor circles or your troll circle. It doesn't make it fucking true. It makes you ignorant. It makes you stupid. It makes you a fucking asshole because you want to continuously talk about it over and over like it's true, you know? And that pisses me off. It does, because that's not fair to anyone. Just because you have a dumbass troll circle and you say something a million times, you know, and now everyone believes it because they're stupid, right? Just like the whole thing with me. Oh, no, he's making it about me again. Yeah, I am. Shut up. The whole King of Hate thing. My old moniker was the King of Hate. It meant that whenever people hated on me in life, I would use that negativity towards me to motivate me to become successful. Use that, the fact that someone says you can't do something, to motivate yourself to do better and succeed to prove them wrong. Oh, but the King of Hate means that he's a bigot and he's a scumbag and he's a racist. And here's a few clips from over the 15 years he's made content that could be taken out of context and look really bad. Here they are. You know? That's what I mean. And then the narrative becomes, oh yeah, see, the King of Hate means he's a hateful person and he's a scumbag and he's a racist and he's a sexist. And it's not true. So that's what I mean. This is a situation where, does anyone have the fucking facts on what he raised, on where he spent it, and does anyone did you see a fucking receipt? Really? If you don't have an actual receipt in your fucking hand, you have absolutely no right to say shit about this. And I'm tired of people doing this shit on the internet. It's time for people to actually start, even if you don't like wings, it's time for people to start putting their foot down and be like, no, we're not going to put up with this toxic drama community and just say it's okay to keep passing up bullshit as fact. You don't fucking know what happened, right? You don't know. So why the fuck are you going to say shit like that? You don't have the evidence of anything. You're a fucking asshole if you push it off as fact. And I'm tired of that shit, because it happens to me, it happens to him, it happens to everyone. Enough. Enough with your horse shit. People need to grow up and stop watching that shit too. You notice June the King is not saying this thing happened. He's saying there's rumors about it. Why? Because there's no actual fucking evidence. So stop with the bullshit, right? This drives me nuts. This is one of my huge problems with YouTube and the toxic community as a whole, is that they make shit up and they pass it as fact and we all believe it now because we're, because we're ignorant idiots. No, stop. Stop with the bullshit. Spend 10 fucking seconds doing a little bit of research, right? If there's no evidence, it didn't fucking happen. So stop with this.
Was visibly losing weight. This time around, it was not his race-related outbursts that got the online community's attention, but rather that he was able to follow through on a commitment.
I have to say, weight loss surgery has been the best choice I've made in my life. I'm down 70 pounds. My feet are no longer swollen. My back doesn't hurt from walking. I can walk longer distances with more energy. Good for him. Hope he keeps losing it.
This
was
speaks
2018,
on a
by the
wider
way.
range than his following of 200,000 Twitch followers.
Another idiot. Let me just get rid of this guy. Fuck out. Okay. Let's continue.
Or 400,000 or so YouTube subscribers. His influence goes far beyond that. Even PewDiePie, coming from the same community Jordy did in 2010, may know of Wings of Redemption. The same goes for Dr. Disrespect and many other creators of varying sizes. If you're in the gaming community or in this side of content creation in general, there is a fair chance that you know about Wings of Redemption. All this is to say that there is a large interest in this man, shown not only by my previous video that got 2 million views, or Frederick Knutson's video covering his story that has well over 8 million views. And with that established, we can give a continuation starting late 2019, after he successfully shed what he claims to be 140 pounds or so. Not only that, Knutson's video gave a sympathetic view towards Jordy, and in doing so helped shift the narrative against the trolling community. While they never truly received much support, showing the infighting and the overall instability of some communities that troll Jordy had the effect of these communities losing members and supporters. On the other side, this may have also encouraged equally unstable individuals
But just so you know, at the top of the screen is my bar's blinded. It says the Discord has been given a holy cleansing. This, again, this is something else that is just insane. People who are in these communities of trolling, and they think this is like normal human behavior that's acceptable. It's not. If you just sit around hating on an individual on the internet all day, that is not normal human behavior. That's something you do when you have nothing else to do with your own life, and that's sad. That should be looked down upon and frowned upon. This is not acceptable behavior. This is, this is the fringes of society of people who just have nothing better to do. The entire Discord's full of people who just sit and shit on someone all day. Entire forums. Fucking Kiwi Farms. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kiwi Farms. I'm going to call you out. You guys are fucked. If you're sitting there all day hating on someone, you got a problem, man. You got a real problem with your own self and your own life. It's okay every once in a while to poke fun at someone. Oh, God, what did so-and-so say on stream today? And it's ridiculous, or make fun of them. It's another thing when your entire existence is just sitting there hating on people. Like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who's the real lolcow in the situation? If your entire existence is trying to make their existence, make fun of them or make them miserable, who's the lolcow? You are. You are worse than them. You understand that. But they don't. To them, in their minds, oh, I'm in this great community of everyone who hates on the person. That's worse than the person you're hating. It 1,000,000% is. Normal people look at that from the outside and they're like, huh? This exists? Well, there's people like that? They can't believe it. They can't. Normal people with lives, positivity, friends, family, jobs, things that are meaningful to them. Look at people who waste their time with this shit. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They can't understand it. Because they just, you know what I mean? It's just... And it's funny because someone just said in the chat, well, a lolcow is someone who's funny unintentionally. This is sad unintentionally, I would say. So maybe not a lolcow. What do you make a new term for it? Right? It's not, it's just a sad cow or something, right? It's pathetic. You're worse than the person you're making fun of if this is your entirety of your existence. I don't know. It's fucking pathetic. It's sad. I'm not trying to insult them. I'm saying it's legitimately depressing to think that there are thousands upon thousands of people on this planet that all they do is they sit on a Discord, they sit on a forum, and they just shit on someone all fucking day.
just introduced to Jordy to dox the worst of his trolls, which brought on even more infighting and instability. And in that chaos, Jordy was able to get a bit of control and some financial stability.
Yeah, I heard you say that you were making money off the troll channels.
I am.
That's true?
That is true.
Here's one of
Any
the
troll
things
channel you see with advertisement on it is paying me kickback.
So you claim those videos and then you get the money?
No. I have deals worked out with each one of them for different amounts.
Get out. You have deals worked out with them, so they pay you for content?
No, they pay me to not strike them.
Oh, that's kind of blackmail-y? I don't have another word for it, dude.
I mean, it's not blackmailing. It's like they're making money. You cut me a little piece of the money because you're using my content. Like all you're doing is re-editing my content. So like I have the power to like take your content down. But if you want to work out a deal where you pay me for like the rights to use my content, I'm down to let your channel stay up.
Ugh, I don't know about this. From my perspective, and again, I'm not a lawyer. Okay. I guess hold on. So I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. Let's switch over here. From my perspective, okay, here's how I understand the law. All right. First of all, absolutely no one has the ability to steal your content, lift it, and re-upload it without editing it. That is illegal. 100%. It's theft. There's 0 cases where that's acceptable. You can't just take someone's content. Oh, I took June the King's video and I just re-uploaded it straight to my channel. No commentary, no editing. You can't do that. That's illegal. That's theft. That's copyright infringement. Okay? However, when someone adds commentary, criticism, if they're doing something creative like adding something to it, if they're doing a joke, any of that is considered a transformative work. All right? Now, first, I didn't really understand the law. Many, many years ago, when This Is How You Don't Play was coming out, I was very critical of this. And I said, I think This Is How You Don't Play is stealing my content. Today, I understand it differently. This is a decade ago when I was saying stuff like that. Today, to my understanding, by the way, thank you, Skylar Dark, for becoming a member. I'll add that to our total members in a second. I appreciate your support. To my understanding, all right, today, that that it's allowed. Anyone who's a restreamer, sadly, it's allowed as long as they are adding commentary or criticism. Right now, I think Wings of Redemption is restreaming this stream, and that's completely legal as long as he's adding his own commentary and criticism to it, right? But you have to do that, correct? You have to. You can't just straight up rebroadcast or re-upload, okay? So what Wings is saying, I said rings. What Rings of Redemption? That sounds better than Wings of Redemption. Rings of Redemption. It rhymes better. It's that alliteration. Anyway, in regards to what Wings is saying here, so what he's saying is because the trolls use my content to make their content, it's illegal. They're using my content without my permission, and therefore I have the ability to take them down, and I'm forcing them to pay me to make content. So it's and what. This is, by the way, if you don't know who this is on the right-hand side, that is Woody's Gamertag. That was the former friend of Wings. They used to be on the Painkiller Already podcast before he got kicked off, and all that drama, again, can be covered in the original Down the Rabbit Hole video. But here's the thing. That's not true, in my opinion. What Wings is saying here, for example, on YouTube, can you copyright claim someone for using your content without your permission? Yes. But is it actually legal? No. It's a transformative work regardless. Any company can claim anyone on YouTube for using their content without their permission, and YouTube will grant the claim. They will, because YouTube, their stance as a company, a corporation, is we don't want to be legally accountable for anything going on here. All right? We don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to get into it. If you claim there's a legal issue here, we'll grant it. Even if it's legit or not, we'll still grant it. You have the ability to dispute it and have it removed. And then if there's anything further to happen, take it to a court of law. Leave us out of it. Now, if we get a court order, a takedown request from a judge or a lawyer that says take it down, then we'll take down a video legally. But outside of that, these are, this is how we handle it. The way YouTube operates, they just want to cover their own butts. They don't want to be embroiled in any legal battles. So if someone says, hey, it's my content, take it down, they'll take it down. And then you have the ability, if you get the copyright strike, you can dispute it and have that strike removed within, I think it's 2 weeks. And that's their process. So even though Wings is saying, oh, I can do this, he's right. He can do this. Let's say, for example, what was it, that Sean Ranklin guy. He's making negative compilations of Wings without his permission. Wings has the ability, through YouTube, to file copyright strikes against Sean Ranklin. But they're not legal. If Sean Ranklin is making his content into a transformative work, then it's considered a new work of art, and therefore it's protected under fair use law. So what he's saying here is wrong. From my take, and again, I'm not a lawyer. This is just how I understand copyright law. All right? So that gets, you know what I'm saying? So I guess what he's doing is from his perspective, he's saying, I will tell a channel like Sean Ranklin or whoever, listen, if you don't stop doing this, I will take your channel down with these copyright strikes. Whether they're legit or not, I'm going to hit them with copyright strikes. But if you pay me a kickback to use my content, then I will allow you to do it, and I will not hit you with any copyright. Whether they're legit or not, I just won't hit you with copyright strikes, right? So I can understand what Woody is saying here. He says, well, that's blackmail. And Wings is like, it's not. I mean, actually it is. From a legal perspective, that would be considered a blackmail or extortion situation where you're going to abuse a system. You know the system's broken. It doesn't work right. But you say, listen, I'm just going to do this to you if you keep, using my content. I want money. All right? Well, okay, maybe not technical blackmail, but it's still like, people are saying it's closer to licensing. But again, if it's a transformative work, there's no licensing required. You understand? If it's enough of a transformative work, you don't have to get the license. Like, I guess, okay, here's an example, and maybe people can talk about this. Maybe there'll be a further discussion because I'm interested in this topic now. For example, there is a musician, and a musician samples a small piece of music from another musician's work, and it becomes a hook in their song. Now, you recognize that hook. Do they have to pay a licensing fee for that little piece of sampled music to be used in their transformative music, their transformative work? Or do they kind of get away with it, right? Are there times where they do pay a licensing fee just to make sure there's no legal ramifications? And are there times that they don't do that? So Mobster Lobster says, artists have successfully been sued for sampling without permission, but does it happen on the regular? Maybe this is considered a legal gray area. I don't see it that way. I feel now, from my understanding of the law, and I'm not a lawyer, it's hard for me to side with Wings on this one. I'll side with them on other stuff. For this one, it's like, nah, I think they have the ability, as long as it's considered transformative, they have the ability to do what they want with your work. You put it out there publicly, as long as they're chopping it up and editing it enough. And I guess what it is also, there has to be a criteria, and I don't know if there's a set criteria involved. For example, a certain percentage of a work, right? You know what I'm saying? Could you only use a certain percentage of a work until you're considered you've used too much and it's now theft or something? I don't know. Has it ever gone to court? I don't know. But, and again, I used to misunderstand this. I felt when This Is How You Don't Play came out that it was copyright theft, and now my understanding is it's not. It's allowed. So that's, guys don't hear me complaining about that shit anymore, right? I mean, here's the difference. Is it slanderous? Is it considered defamatory? That's a whole other legal issue versus is it copyright legal? And he's saying it's not copyright legal. And I don't know if I believe that or not. I think that that's definitely a question that needs to be answered by a legal authority. But to my understanding, is what he's doing here. If this is true, what he's saying on this podcast, then that's not okay. He's basically abusing YouTube's copyright system to get paid. Okay. So let's see. Skylar Dark, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. We're up to 78 members and climbing. In fact, I think the most we ever had is 79, and that was yesterday. If we hit 85 today, that'd be our record high. It'd be great if we could do that. And again, becoming a member is a great way to support this channel and its projects. Rich88 did a super chat, says, is this guy you and Keem were talking about boxing? This is one of the people who will be in a boxing match coming up, but I'm not involved in it. But yeah, this is the guy that's going to be in that boxing match, I guess, in a month or two. Okay, then. Thank you for the super chat. Rich. And then Conquest Comics did a super chat. I would love to talk comics on your pod. I'd love to come on your podcast and talk comics. Oh, I am definitely out of the loop when it comes to comics. I have not read comics in so long that I doubt I would really have anything to add. Wow, that is terrible spelling. I doubt that I would have anything to add to a comic book discussion, unless you're talking like classic comics, like the 80s, the 90s, you know, that stuff I know. That's when I read comics. I have not been in the loop of comic books in a very long time. Thanks for the offer. I don't know if I would take you up on it, only because it seems like something that I wouldn't be able to add much to. Thank you for the super chat. Okay.
At Jordy's peak in the early 2010s, he was earning an estimated $8,000 to $12,000 a month. Now, from a conversation with Woody's Gamertag, a content creator part of the podcast PKA, also known as Painkiller Already, a podcast Jordy was once part of before he was kicked out, we learned that those numbers are down to $3,000 to $4,000.
So that's what he told him on the podcast, but there's no evidence of this. This is what he told him. Okay.
Largest piece of the pie coming from donations. But now, Jordy was being fed money through other routes, like occasionally door dashing to make additional money. As for the payments from clip channels, whether it was monthly or a one-time payment, it was clear that he began to embrace his infamous status, at least in some capacity. Though that doesn't mean he still doesn't oppose it altogether. Whether he supports it or not, his blunders typically attract a large audience. Like when, in late 2019, Jordy showed his livestream a page on the automotive research and shopping website Car Gurus, where he looked at a 2017 Camaro available in his area.
I was going to read it, but it got blurry.
But what Jordy was unaware of was that in Car Gurus prompting Jordy to purchase the vehicle, it showed on screen his contact information.
Oh no.
On the topic of vehicles, shortly after this blunder, he ended up purchasing a V4 Mustang and displayed the raw power of it to his livestream viewers.
So wait a minute. I'm confused. Whose information was on the screen? His or the contact information from the Car Guru dealership? Either way is bad, obviously. If it's his, then they're gonna dox him. If it's the dealership, they're gonna attack the dealership and call, make fun of, oh, you were dealing with wings or whatever. Can you kill her? Does anyone know? His own info, his phone number and email address. Okay. That sucks. Certainly, for me, that kind of shit has happened, but it was inadvertent. Like, it wasn't I did it. For example, when I first moved here, I had no idea that, like, real estate listings are public. I had no clue. I never bought a house like that before. So I buy a house, I move here, within a week, people are posting my fucking address all over the internet. I'm like, what? How the hell did they get my address? I haven't said a word about where I'm living. I mean, besides I said Seattle area, that was it, right? And I was so confused about, like, how that information got out. And apparently it's public. You could just look it up by someone's name or something, and you could get that info. I was like, what? And then another situation was, very many years ago, so we're talking like probably like 2014, 2015, I purchased a web domain through a website, and I had no idea that website, unless you, just get this, does this make any sense? Unless you pay the website extra money, they take the information you use to register the site and they fucking post it publicly on the internet. What? So let me get this straight. I bought a website. You're now going to put my information all over the fucking internet because I bought a website with you unless I pay you more money to hide it? What is that? I never heard of that before, and that was what the fuck? And then next thing you know, other information of mine is on the internet, and I'm like, what the hell is this shit? It's stupid. Now in this case, this is unfortunate because if now he's probably getting phone calls and shit. Sucks. That sucks. So he bought a car, a V8 Mustang, and he started talking about it in his content.
At this point, there was an air of success and improvement that was overtaking Jordy's recently depressive image. Though there were a few notches in his path that brought on the all too familiar rage moments.
Now hold on.
As seen
Before we continue on, because it seems like they're moving on from that already. Was there not a controversy in regards to this car too? Was there not something about he bought a car that was a rebuilt and it was a scam or a joke? Like, I heard that in my chat. People were coming in talking about a V8 Mustang that was rebuilt or something, right? Oh, sorry. Thank you guys for telling me that. I accidentally did this. Whoops. There we go. Right? There was some bullshit with that too. Like, every little thing the guy put on stream was like a new controversy, right? It was a V4 So I don't know the ins and outs, but wasn't people saying it was a rebuilt car? He got scammed or something? Confession says that's where he used the rest of his money from the surgery. So is this what the conspiracy is? That he skimped out on cheap surgery so that he could buy a car. And then he showed the car on stream and people were like, that's where the money went. But there's no evidence of this. This is just conspiracy. This is jumping to conclusions based on guesses and suppositions. This is not factual stuff, correct? It's only conspiracy. Okay, it's never been proven. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are telling me that. Because that's, again, another bullshit story. And I heard this actively. I heard this actively daily on my fucking streams. People were coming by. And they were like, oh, did you hear he scammed his viewers and he bought a car? Not only is the car a piece of junk anyway, but he really scammed his viewers for the money. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is the DSP stream. This is not the Wing stream. Like, why are you telling me this? And that's what I mean. This is how these people are. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? And where is your evidence? Why are you saying these things about this guy? And you just because you don't like him. And it's what it is. You don't like him. You want to run with this thing. You always say negative things about him. You want to make him look bad. So now you have the next drama thing to talk about with this guy. It's messed up, you know. It is just because he bought a car. Okay, your problem with that, right? I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate he doxed himself. That sucks. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, why the hell is this become an issue? Why has this become a thing? Do you have any? There's no evidence of this. People are saying. SD Chargers, thank you for the super chat. He says, big ups, Liquid Richard. Well, I think we're going to get a bunch of those today, you know? I think Liquid Richard made songs about Me Too and shit. I don't know. I've never listened to any of it. Thank you, SD Chargers, for the super chat. Actually, I think this is a good time to split the part. This will be our first part, guys. So, thank you for watching my live react to the continual fall of Wings of Redemption by June the King. This is part 1. There's going to be many more parts to come. In fact, we're 13 minutes in. 1 hour for 13 minutes. This is going to be a long one. Okay? Maybe there's going to be a 2-streamer. Oh, man. I guess we'll see. But, so far, I hope you're enjoying. If you are enjoying, thank you for watching. All right? And I would really appreciate it if you could support the channel in any way, whether it be liking this video, leaving comments on the video, leave additional information, answer these questions that I have that are unanswered. I'd like to get more information so I understand the situation better, okay? Best way to support this channel would be a membership, but hey, everything else is appreciated. Maybe leave a super thanks on the video if you can. Maybe consider a tip. Thank you all for watching. Many more parts coming here on DSP Reacts. Thanks for watching part 1, and I'll see you for part 2 in just a sec.